Oh, it's time. Time to get radical.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to Radical Comment of the Week for July 14th through the 20th. These are the very best comments of that week. Starting out with the almost honorable mentions, we have Billy Sosa, Brutes McGee, and Martyville. The first honorable mention comes to us from Shanana Timms. You have to love John's BS excuse that he couldn't pay him for it. Talking about John Hancock. He couldn't pay him for it because then loads of people would be trying to sell him games. Isn't that a dream position for a potential buyer? Having various sources of supplies ready to help you out? Sure, some would be looking to scam him. Oh no, conning a con artist. Or give him either inflated prices or market prices. I'll do the gasp better. Is that a gasp? Okay, there it is, a gasp. Market prices, but these would be easy to ignore or filter out. And occasionally a suitable mark would come along who only wanted a bit of the money he had donated John to expand his house back. I figure that'd lead to better deals for John. As evidence, I'd offer most any of his ex-pal Metal Jesus collection videos. Sure, most were donated, but he still makes videos of locals reaching out to him because he's a prominent YouTube hobbyist who buys old games. I believe him, and the one perpetually happy cohort went to some dude's house and took his old computer game collection for a steal. Instead of John having to search Craigslist and eBay, he'd essentially become his own Craigslist. But that would make too much sense, and you'd need to be dedicated to building an actual game museum instead of expanding your wealth. Priorities, priorities. Thank you to Shanana Timms. James GK. With the second honorable mention, you know, that's not very uncommon these days. Complain about a product yet end up buying it regardless. I've seen that a lot with YouTubers who stand against Disney and with a lot of Call of Duty content creators. One example I can give is when a commentary YouTuber by the name of Optimus, you probably have heard of him, his channel has gained quite a lot of subs, spreaded a lot of misinformation about the remastered version of Modern Warfare 2. On his second channel, he stated that because the game came with 1,000 COD points for those who play Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone, he said that the product would be expensive. He also got annoyed that the remaster was campaign only, yet he bought it day one and used it for gameplay footage. And no one seemed to notice because he always gets positive feedback, even though his content is as bare bones as Review Tech USA's. Thank you, James GK. And the final honorable mention comes to us from Destroyer of Heroes. Spot on. This is exactly why this channel is still my home base. I was clearly poking fun at Smash JT, deservedly, since he came over to your channel and deleted a comment that people were engaging him in. But hey, if he wants to lose me as a subscriber, that's his loss, not mine. I'm not the guy who needs his own father to be a patron like Jeff does. Hope your dad's comments add more to your channel than mine did, Smashy. That $10 to Chris Benjamin sends him each month might buy him a cheap bottle of wine, but it won't buy my respect, that's for sure. And that's exactly what you touched on in this video. Honest people don't want charity. Well-to-do people don't accept handouts. E-beggars have zero standards. Speaking of standards, I'm quite sure Smash knew that Chris Benjamin was a Hancock minion. He should expect the guy to get some criticism since Smash himself threatened to take legal action against Hancock. This whole group of commentary channel YouTubers sure can dish out a ton of criticism, but they refuse to accept any, which is ironic since they generally take anything they can get their hands on. P.S. This won't be the last of my brutal commentary on this wannabe Rick. I will stay smashing. Thank you to Story of Heroes. And now we get into the medal ceremony. With the shiny bronze medal, we got Rusty Shackelford. What does video game preservation even mean? When people like Hancock say this, do they mean just maintaining the video game's history or something? Couldn't you just preserve the game by having people send you a photo of the game, then you can upload a video talking about it? Or why not have the people that own the game themselves, the games themselves, send you a video talking about it, then you share that video on YouTube? Maybe you can do this while showing gameplay footage and have it on YouTube. If video game preservation is about maintaining the history, wouldn't the above be better forms of maintaining that instead of locking in this so-called museum that will probably never happen? This is why I find the whole museum dream Hancock has to be bullshit. YouTube is going to far exceed us in life. You have a better chance of just creating a video game history channel on YouTube for video game preservation than creating a museum. The only preservation Hancock is doing is for himself and is looking to sell it at the end of the day to enjoy retirement. Ding, 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 ding. That's the plan. Okay? That's the plan. He wants to get all these games so one day he can sell off this collection. I heard reports. I can't verify it. I heard reports. A couple of people were talking about how Joel the Last Gamer sold off a lot of his collection or might be transitioning away from game collecting. Now, I can't verify that. I cannot. I'll just, say that right now. I can't verify that. But I thought about that and how a lot of people would feel betrayed by that. They would feel betrayed if, someone like that or John Hancock or anyone that has gotten any game donations from their audience, which is a lot of these collectors, their audience would feel betrayed. And I think to myself, well, at some age, we have hobbies, we have things we follow, and then we don't have them anymore. I used to follow professional wrestling a lot. Sadly, I just really can't get into it that much. There's, musicians that I used to love, and, there might be a day where I'm like, I gotta go to that concert, but then I'm like, you know what, really not into that anymore, really not feeling that anymore. But the thing with collecting is people always expect these collectors to keep collecting and collecting and collecting till the end. But what if just you wake up one day and you're like, you know what? I think I just want to sell everything I have. I want money. But the thing about, YouTube collectors and everything is, well, it makes sense to keep the collection going as long as you're getting donations, wouldn't it? It would make sense if you're getting these donations to keep conning your audience out of all these video games and out of all this money, especially for things like a game museum or this or that, or could be a variety of things. But you're talking about game preservation. Okay, sorry, I went off track there. Game preservation. There's a channel on YouTube called Nintendo Long Plays, and the whole game is played through on this channel. Now, they're not long games, 30 minutes, 45 minutes on some of these games. So you think about preservation, I think that does more to preserve the game than anything else. Well, you might say, hey, Rick, games are an interactive medium. All right, ROMs. YouTube videos, ROMs. Well, then you say, hey, Rick, what about the plastic? What about the plastic and the cardboard? Well, you got me there, So, yeah, you still got to preserve the plastic and the cardboard, which is, ironically, the least important part of it. Not viewing it, not playing it, but the plastic and the freaking cardboard. Thank you, Rusty Shackelford. The silver medal, the shiny, shiny silver medal, comes to us from Wolfpack 1. The mindset that some of these guys have baffles me. They say this community is toxic, and I honestly have to say that I've seen nothing of the sort aside from the occasional troll, and even that isn't very often. This is the only channel I've seen where the comment section filled with long, smart, well-thought-out comments with criticism and humor. These guys that can't take criticism go directly to words like toxic and harassment. Those grown-ass YouTubers that do that should be ashamed that they are literally acting like entitled children that want mommy and daddy to take away anything that makes them cry and give them Patreon money. I don't know what the fuck they were taught when they were growing up, but I was taught early on to handle my own shit. I am my own man. Don't look up with teary eyes looking for someone to fight your battles for you. I have to say it. These YouTubers that whine, beg, cry, and play victim are complete and shameless, entitled wimps. They love to take that donation money instead of leaving or directing that money to people that are true victims. People that are actually hurting, suffering, and do have a reason to cry. Yeah, the mindset that this channel, and I get it. Hey, you know what? I get it. I am not PG rated a lot of the time. Sometimes I curse. But, you know, damn it, some of the stuff would make anyone curse. Would make anyone curse. And, you know, it's not just YouTubers that I speak on. You know, it's companies. It's Amazon with that fucking scam that got me. Almost got me with that Stars HD scam. It's, you know, websites like that one website that, you know, basically, I won't go far as to say it's a con, but it's a fucking inconvenience. They instantgaming.com, they took my money away for like 1 week. So I had a rant on them. I'm an honest person. And I come on YouTube and I speak on things that bother me, and I also speak on things I love, like potatoes, right? And we discuss things here. Now, it's anyone's right to come here and say their piece, right? But those same people that will come here and say their piece and try to, like, you know, defend whatever it is that they do or other people do and everything, that's one part of it. But the other part of it is you have to take criticism, you know, for your positions and stances, right? And I try my best. I think I do it a lot better than most other channels, you know, in the commentary game. I try my best to actually see things from various sides, you know, and sometimes even my mind might, you know, change on a particular thing or something. You know, somebody might come by and say, hey, you know what? You're wrong about that game. There's some redeeming aspects of that game. And I might, you know, play a little more and say, you know what? You got a point there. What I'm saying is, I try my best to foster a, you know, an open discussion community like this is. And I realize that sometimes my tone might be a little, it might seem to some people as toxic. But you know what? I would say to a lot of those people, get the fuck out of your safe space. Get the fuck out of your safe space. If you can't handle anything that I have to say, then I hate to see you in the real fucking world. You know, stiffen your spine, for God's sakes. Jeez. Thank you. There. Wolfpack 1. And now we get to that shiny, shiny gold medal. Who gets it today? Haddington Rose gets the gold medal. I don't mind if they make a digital-only console, just as long as they keep doing what they've been doing and release a physical player one as well. People want a long-term rent games? Let them. But if companies ever go full digital, they're going to need to step up their anti-piracy game. I know how to hack all the current gen systems. I have Xbox One, PS4, Switch, to play pirate ROMs. I just don't do it. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Those stupid retro mini consoles are free game, and older, out-of-print ones as well. Nintendo don't want to support the Wii anymore? Fine. I can customize it so it rips the game off my physical game and loads it onto a hard drive. Don't want to support 3DS? All the games minus Mon? Okay. Because save games aren't transferable, are now on one card, so I don't have to carry around or have in view in my house taking up shelf space with all those games. They can be in a closet under other things. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Man, I love being a turtle. I could do that better. Man, I love being a turtle. It's okay. Whoops. I mean, if something goes all digital, I'm setting sail and never coming back. Yo ho ho, I pirate's life for me. Just try and bring me that horizon. I'll go. I love collecting media, games, music, films, books. But if I can't buy it and own it forever, then that rental better be so whimsical. Think $1 or less, or I ain't paying it. And the sad thing is, things like Warner Archives, Amazon Publishing, Disney Movie Club, and sadly, for a gaming example, the poorly run limited run games have proven you can make small amounts of media or print on demand versions of these digital items or items that not everyone would want and still make a profit. You just set your factories up to make smaller batches. Collecting is a big market into itself, and you can say you collect digitally, but every digital platform has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that what I say is true. Digital is just long-term rental if you don't own it. You have the right to stream it for the time being, but one day it will be gone. You will lose access, and there is nothing you can do about it. Well, there is, but that's just not buying digital. The big fight between digital and physical rages on. There's a lot of people that come here and they say, you know what, I have no problem with the all digital Xbox One S because, well, we're getting to a point in gaming to where the disc is just kind of like a key to play the game. I don't have the physical copy. This is a shocker to a lot of you. I don't have the physical copy of Shadow of Mordor. I have the physical copy of Shadow of War. But there was a time, and this is a story of me and how I acquired Shadow of Mordor. I had a $10 Microsoft digital credit. And I didn't know how I got it, but I had it. Maybe they gifted it. I'm not sure. And I spent that on Shadow of Mordor because I heard the game was pretty good. And that was 5 years ago, you know. My life has changed drastically since, buying that game. For the better. Even though it's a digital purchase there, Haddington Rose, I would say that I got my $10 worth for that game. Now, one downside to it maybe not being a physical copy is sometimes I have internet issues. And believe it or not, Haddington Rose, I can't log in and play one of my favorite games, if there's internet issues. So right there, I don't really own the game. I would say I don't own the game. It's reliant on other things to work. I just can't put it in like a PlayStation 2 game. Just can't put it in and play it. Now, to some of you that have a physical copy of Shadow of Mordor, let me know in the comment section down below. Do you have the same issues? Do you have to be signed in? Do you have to be signed in and on the internet to play that game? If that's the case, then that means really no one owns Shadow of Mordor. That's fucking sad. But I was thinking about something else. And this is when I was installing one of those 15 radios the last couple weeks. I stopped for a second and I thought, I don't know if it was about gaming and everything. But, I looked down like at one of my hands. And I thought, how much time? Like I was getting deep, I was thinking how much time do I have to wear? How many decades? How much time do I have where I'll have, this same feeling in the hands? And just in general, I was looking at my body going, this is not going to last forever. And I guess if I apply it to this, Haddington Rose, when you think about it, our bodies are a rental, aren't they? I don't know how you feel about the afterlife and spirits. I'm not going to get into that discussion. But, everything I'm using now to record this is a temporary rental. This is temporary. And the thing is, I had videos in the past. Some of you that have been here a long time on the channel, I have videos in the past where I, physical, let's keep it physical, or something like that. And I came out against things like Overwatch, all digital games. But then I comes back to it, and I'm like, well, nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. In the cold November rain. I think the pricing, you have a great point. Digital should not be as much as physical. It should not be. I don't get, there's these digital deluxe editions. $80, $90. with no disc. Nothing physical. That doesn't make sense to me. Digital deluxe. You know what should be seen as deluxe? The physical copy.